If you're interested in hearing my book confessions, well, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, I have been being tagged in several tag videos over the past few months, and I have not gotten to any of them, and I feel so bad. And so the latest one that just happened, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit here right now while I have a couple minutes. I'm heading out the door to my niece's soccer game, but I've got a couple minutes, so I'm doing this tag. So I was tagged by Ashley Hart's Reading, and this is the Book Confessions tag. And this was originally created by Book Reviews with Becky. So I will have both of them linked down in the description box for you. And we are just gonna go ahead and get into these questions. So the first one is, what's an unpopular book opinion or preference you have? I would say I don't like spice. I would be happy if no book ever had any kind of spice in it. I'm not a prude, I'm not anything like that. It's just, it literally adds nothing to a story for me, so it's just not something I enjoy. And I know a lot of people do, so I'm not knocking you if you do. That's why it's an unpopular opinion from my stance, I guess, because I don't like it. So if you do, you think that's unpopular. But if you're like me and you don't like it either, well then it's a popular opinion to you. So, you know, I love that, the subjectivity of what you read. I mean, it's all just what you like. And I don't like spice. The next question is, has your reading taste changed over the years? If so, how? Honestly, not really. I have always been, even when I was really young, I loved like little mystery books. I used to read, I remember reading like Nancy Drew books. I've always really liked a mystery, suspenseful, a little bit thrilling. One of my first books I can remember that was like a scary kind of book that I absolutely loved was called Wait Till Helen Comes. And yeah, so I've kind of always really enjoyed that genre. It's still my favorite. It's always kind of what I lean towards. So no, it really hasn't changed very much. Number 3 is, what genre pulls you out of a reading slump every time? This is really weird, but like when I hear people talk about getting in a reading slump, I've never had that. I've never been where it's like I just feel like no books are connecting with me and I just can't do it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why, but I literally have never been in a reading slump. I mean, that's a great thing. I'm so glad. But when I hear people talk about it, I'm like, what a bummer, because I honestly just have never experienced that. So if you're watching this and you've never experienced a reading slump either, tell me that down in the comments. Like, I want to know, am I just crazy? But I think I'm not, I think a book has to be really, really bad for me to not want to finish reading it. So yeah, I don't know. I just have never been in a reading slump. I can't think of a time where I've been like, it just doesn't even sound good to me to pick up a book. I don't know. Number 4, who are your auto-buy authors? The ones you trust no matter what. Again, I really can't say I've got a lot of that. I've never been somebody who kind of always goes for the same type of authors. I just go for whatever book sounds good to me. So authors that I would say I've read the most from would probably be like Stephen King. Gosh. Man, when I was really young, not really young, but when I was younger, too young to be reading these books, I'll tell you that. I read a lot of V.C. Andrews, which very spicy but weird. I wouldn't want to read them now, so it's kind of funny. But like those are not, I would never go out and buy a V.C. Andrews book now. But Stephen King I still will. But like there's no authors that I'm like, oh, as soon as this author comes out with a book, I'm getting it. Like I've just never been that way. And so yeah, it really just is more about if a book sounds good to me or not. So yeah, I don't really have a good answer for that. Number 5, how many chances do you give an author before deciding you're done? Again, because I don't specifically go for certain authors, I can't say I've really been in that position where I'm like, oh, I just do not like this author's writing. So it would have to be somebody, if it's somebody who constantly puts spice in their books, or someone who has like, you know, anti-Christian themes, like very, is like very negative toward Christianity, something like that, then I wouldn't read any more of their books. But other than that, I don't really have an experience with like a certain author being like, oh, another book that I just don't like from them. So I really can't say. Number 6, do you have any reading rituals, things you like to do or listen to while reading? Nope. I like to basically sit on the couch or the love seat, sometimes in a chair by the window, and usually I have a blanket on my lap, most of the time a cup of coffee. I guess that would be my thing. Usually when I'm reading is when my husband's watching sports. I will watch sports with him. Detroit Lions, the Lions. But he watches sports all the time. I'm not that into sports, okay? And so it's very easy for me to read while he's watching sports. So I'm sitting on my couch with my blanket and my coffee, and I'm reading my book while whatever game he's watching is on the TV. So that's pretty much how that goes. Or in the summer when we go camping, I like to read, there's a chair in our camper that I like to sit in and read, usually with a blanket on my lap, and a lot of times a cup of coffee. And also I like to read in bed when I'm camping. I don't ever read in bed at home, but when we're camping, I like to read in bed. So number 7, how far do you read before deciding to DNF a book? Okay, so I have only DNF'd a book once that I can think of. And this was actually just a couple months ago. And I got real far in the book before I finally was like, I just cannot do this anymore. And it was because it was extremely sacrilegious, just very like negative, horrible like lies about Christianity, and I couldn't do it. I'm like, that is so against everything that I believe. And so I was like, I don't care how good the premise of the book is otherwise, that just did it for me. So that's the only book I've ever DNF'd. Number 8, do you ever find yourself mimicking the character's facial expressions while reading? I literally have no idea. I don't know. I guess I don't really think about what my face is doing while I'm reading. I know there are times where I audibly have like gasped when I'm reading or like laugh about something, but I don't know that it mimics the character's expression in the book. Maybe I'll start trying to pay attention to that from now on. Or that could be really annoying, finding yourself doing that. I don't know. But it's an interesting question. I've really never even once thought about that. Number 9, rereading books, yes, no, or it depends. Absolutely. I know people think maybe that's kind of weird because there's so many good books out there, and why take the time to read something you've already read? But if you really enjoyed something, why not? You rewatch movies, don't you? Or like TV series. I mean, most people, or not most, but a lot of people rewatch movies or TV series. What's the difference? And so, yeah, I look at it the same way. If it's something that you really enjoyed and it really like touched you in some sort of way, whether it was just fun and lighthearted and you want to like experience that again, or it was something very moving, or whatever it might be, like, why not? Heck yeah, reread. I mean, I've read Jane Eyre like, I don't even know how many times, 6 something, 7 times, I don't know. I've read it a bunch of times because I love it. And every time I read it, I just feel that same feeling again. I don't know. It depends. It's just, each person is different, but if you'll rewatch a movie, why wouldn't you reread a book? And then number 10 is just tag some fellow booktubers to keep the confessions going. So I will put some people down below in the description box, but if you would like to do this, please just do it and let me know that you're doing it so that I can watch what your answers are. And hopefully, for this being my first tag besides my booktuber newbie tag, that was the very first tag I ever did. This is my first one besides that. So hopefully it was entertaining to you in some sort of way. So thank you to Ashley for tagging me, and hopefully you enjoyed hearing my answers. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.